So, Eric, what do you think about Antoine's choice for this week? Fire Emblem's Warriors Three Hopes.
No, actually, great choice. I'm also a Fire Emblem fan. Well, I've been playing Fire Emblem since the the Famicom times. So I've never really uh, except for the Devil May Cry hack and slash or the Dragon Quest Heroes uh, that was the last hack and slash that type of game that I played. So very interesting. I'm interested in. I'm actually right after this podcast, I'm gonna go buy it.
Just to remind people, because it's very rare on this podcast, this game Fire Emblem, it belongs to Nintendo, so it's an sorry a Switch exclusive, and its release date is June 24th. So you can't buy it right away.
Oh,
Pre-order
You'll
it,
have
all
to
right.
wait a little bit.
pre-order it. I'm gonna pre-order it right now.
Ooh.
And if it has any kind of length like Zelda Hero Wires, that means we won't see you for the rest of the year. Because Hero Wire, you can spend thousands. It's even you can spend more time than on this than on Skyrim, literally. So it's just crazy the amount of hours you're gonna waste on it.
Nice. So I'll fill in what basically. I mean, you guys have pretty much said most of it. Yeah, only available on Switch. Though I think like going back to the what is that sort of Switch game with the dragons and stuff. Oh God, I can't remember. Anyway, I think the Switch or Nintendo have come up with like a 2 year exclusivity is the wrong word because they don't mention it in any documentation, but pretty much 2 years after this comes out, we can expect like a remastered HD version on the PC if you are a PC gamer. So the only thing I'm worried about is just frame rates, because a lot of these games, though Nintendo's really good about this sort of stuff when it comes to sort of like these sort of AAA first party titles. They're not first party, but second party titles. Like they're pretty good about sort of making sure it runs optimally on your Switch. And given that we're not getting a Switch Pro until 2024 probably, and Apple had their event, and we know they announced the M2 MacBook, and the whole Apple has their own little equivalent of making games look really, really good. But even the M2 MacBook, the wait time, Anton was saying this about, where you guys work, like you guys have a huge wait time for products on your side as well. So, I mean, there's going to be waiting for whatever you want to do come whatever you want to get anyway. One thing I did like as well is they have some cool amiibos for this. So I have 2 amiibos, but I've never used them. They just sit in their box because I'm one of those people who collects stuff and never takes them out of the box because I don't know why. That's just my poor habit. So they've got some cool amiibos, incentives to buy the digital version as well, because of course Nintendo wants to reduce secondary sales. So I believe if you get the digital version, you have like some bonuses just for only the digital version. And if you have saves from 3 houses as well, that will give you a bonus in the new game, which is always good. And so the story seems to be good. Like you guys mentioned the story, there are 3 factions you can align with, just like in 3 houses. And though I've never played it, that's one of those games where we have the like Nintendo secondhand games group here at Kaohsiung, and I'm always trying to find someone who wants to sell this secondhand. Seems to have a tactical depth. Like in the actual description on the Nintendo Switch site, they mention that there's another game that does this. Issue commands to your army during the chaos of battle to achieve missions and objectives. Swap between characters on the fly to maximize your battle strategies, whatever the hell that means. But it's not just smashing and bashing, which is kind of cool. So they've made a very broad, appealing game. So that is very interesting. So we have to talk about the usual question I ask you guys. Eric's already answered this question. He said, he's going to pre-order it immediately after the podcast. Antoine and Adam, what is your feeling?
Antoine, you want to go first?
Sure. It's a Switch exclusive, so it's gonna be expensive. So it's likely gonna be a pass. I love Musou. It's very fun. but I wouldn't. It's not my favorite genre overall, so I would rather buy an old Musou at cheaper price on Steam or something like this, or if there's a Nintendo sale on the Berserk one, for instance, and I'll buy this one when it's on sale in 2 or 3 years. It's not the kind of game I would buy at full price right now.
What do you think, Mr. Gray?
I don't have a Switch, so I'm gonna have to pass. If I had a Switch though, then I would still probably pass on a while, just because when I was younger, I really liked the Musou games. I really enjoyed that, the power fantasy. But as I've grown older, I've found that I typically enjoy more games that have more of the individual kind of give and take kind of combat, something more akin to Ghost of Tsushima, where there's kind of like the blocking and there's more of a yeah, like a back and forth to it. It's not just straight into the enemy. There's kind of a more nuanced combo system or counter system, and these games typically don't have a counter system. So I would probably pick up something else that had more of that style of combat. So I haven't played one of these games since, I guess, early college.
For me, while like Adam made a good point, I have gravitated towards these games, but at like this point now, I'll be 40 this year. I'm really hate any difficulty in games. Like if I do a boss battle and I die the first time, I'm just very tempted to like say stop. No, don't waste my time. So as much as Antoine said, oh, this is probably not going to be that hard, I imagine there
It's not
are.
hard.
They're usually
It's
not.
not. It's really not. It's really to cool down after a hard day of work. You go into the mass and you shoot, and there's one or two buttons, and that's it.
I mean, going
It's
back.
not like Demon Souls. Like Demon
No.
Souls, that's a game that you throw in the garbage, because it stole literally 10 years of your life, right? But
No, I mean, but I'm saying is like we're all around the same age, right? Going back 20 years ago, there was sort of like games that you could trust difficulty, but I feel like everybody, you guys can give me your opinions on this. I feel like every game, if it's not like a Demon Souls, Dark Souls-esque game, has like a tapered difficulty spike where it goes up and down and up and down. So there are these spikes in every game, I believe, because that is what people want. People want that sort of build up and the climax. Yes, I defeated the boss. Wonderful. Right. And it's this point that I disagree with, because I don't care if a game's like I don't care for difficulty spikes. I want it to be easy. I want it to I want to roll over stuff in perpetuity. But of course, people are like, this sucks. This is too easy. I want to die. I don't know.
Okay, 2 points here. First point, Adam wouldn't play it because it's too easy. He wants something a bit more tailored to his taste
It's
and
not
a
that it's
bit
too
each
easy.
game. You want a bit more challenge, right?
I want it to be a bit more dynamic.
Yeah. And the second point is, if it's like Hero Warriors, the only difficulty is in the challenge. You can do some difficult challenge, but if you don't want to, you don't care. There's no story. Either you do it or you don't. You choose your missions.
But you said, right, there are boss fights, right?
There sometimes are, but the boss fights are you just fighting another character that's basically just another you.
Boss fight is just a bigger soldier with more
Yeah,
more health.
yeah.
But it's not
Boss
a
fights
boss.
are not the focus. They are not designed for boss fights, because most of your attacks are these big AOE attacks that coalesce everybody into one big group and then explode them outward. So if you were fighting a boss and it's just one guy, your attacks aren't designed for that. So these games aren't designed for boss fights. So typically they don't have too many of them.
No.
But I mean, Fire Emblem is a great choice for this type of game because there's so many characters. So I mean,
Absolutely.
there could be 100 bosses because there's like thousands of characters. So it's interesting. I'm definitely gonna try it.
Yeah,
Or
but here they really stay on the set of 3 houses. So you won't have the legacy. You won't have Mars, or you won't have the Smash, the guys which appear on Smash Bros. Except if they do DLC. Maybe they will DLC. That would be nice, but otherwise, that should stay on 3 houses.
I think it's also worth noting that if you've been watching the video on the live show, I took 4 different trailers and put them all together. So there's the announcement trailer, and then there's one trailer for each of the 3 houses. And it has not, in none of these trailers does it show a boss fight. There's not a single boss fight anywhere in any of these trailers. So I don't think boss fights are, they're either not a thing or they're not a big thing. So yeah, these are not designed for that. These are really, like Antoine said, these are designed for, it's the end of the day, you want to relax, you want to feel good about yourself, so you just want to like decimate an army and feel like you're amazing. And that's what these games are designed to be and do.
And put some rock or metal behind it.
All right, so for me, I just because I'd rather not risk $60 for this sort of, especially for a new genre that I've never played before, where I as much as you guys have convinced me in a sense, this will be buy on a sale for me. So buy the digital version or buy it on like secondhand for somebody, like that would be like $40 here in Taiwan.